The transport ship Galilee drifted silently in deep space, its crew in cryogenic sleep. Captain Ada Navarro would soon wake them as the vessel approached Centauri after nearly a century of travel. They bore grim tidings for the distant human colonies there. Isolationism had tempered humanity's expansion to the stars 200 years ago, after first contact brought only exploitation by hostile cultures. A dozen colony worlds, then no more. Fortifying the frontier became paramount. Central governance was limited, defense decentralized across local systems. Periodic sublight messengers like Galilee kept tenuous bonds between settlements. Ada's crew carried dire updates. Raids from the conquering Then hegemony were encroaching inward. Word was spread to prepare for war. Approaching Centauri observatories, Ada frowned at strange energy readouts. Gravimetric distortions warped local spacetime, preventing any warp travel or astropathic messaging. This cut Centauri off, ripe for then attack. Had isolationism left the colonies defenseless? Ada managed sublight entry to the system, prepared for devastation. Instead, she found astonishing new orbital fortifications and defense grids protecting Centauri. The colonies had spent decades honing technological might in secret. Predicting this dark day's coming, 3 sleek warships intercepted Galilee. Ada soon met Centauri's Sky Marshal Z, who confirmed her suspicions. A self-sufficient, militarized society had evolved here, knowing isolation couldn't last forever. Now Then invaders would learn why human space remained unchallenged for centuries. This easy prey had quietly transformed into a fortress. Ada wondered if ruthless reprisals were necessary or doomed both sides. But she knew the Centaurians now held the reins. All her warnings and second guesses meant little if humanity deemed its very existence threatened. Right or wrong, the isolation was over. Ada could only steel herself alongside the crew for the unfathomable violence soon to be unleashed. The Sky Marshal's eyes were hard as he outlined plans for massive preemptive strikes on Then staging points. Ada was surprised by his hostility. Centuries of isolation had entrenched an almost xenophobic fervor here. She feared this fortress society might wage war with more cruelty than their enemies. As Centaurian fleets mobilized for crushing interstellar offensives, Ada contemplated her role. Should she encourage restraint, or did these colonies understand this reality better than her? Centauri had sacrificed to become a juggernaut capable of ravaging any invaders. Ada had little standing to undermine their authority or strategy, however misguided it seemed. Joining an elite attack fleet, Ada could only counsel judicious use of the apocalyptic firepower around her. But the Then surprise when industrial worlds were annihilated proved such warnings hollow. Ferocious Centaurian weaponry overwhelmed all defenses, annihilating Then ships wholesale. Ada watched the carnage with growing unease. It soon reached a tipping point when Sky Marshal Z prepared to deploy a prohibited disintegration warhead against a Then population center. The extermination was unnecessary for victory, but would cripple their economy. Here, Ada drew the line. No innocent lives would be extinguished on her watch. She confronted Z with an ultimatum: stand down or be removed from command. The Sky Marshal raged at her insolence, but observing officers backed Ada's authority as Earth's messenger. Grudgingly, Z aborted the strike and issued notice of Centauri's dominance and terms for Then withdrawal. Surviving Then leadership exceeded rapidly, their losses extreme. The isolated colonies had forged themselves into a titan. Departing Centauri after the ceasefire, Ada prayed this fearsome mean could be tempered with wisdom, but she knew a greater struggle still lay ahead, reconciling sharply divergent human worlds into unified strength. That truly operational unity, not fleets alone, would determine humanity's future among the stars. The path was unclear, but she would help forge it.